Alright, assignment demonstration for assertions. I followed a very similar form as we did in class, except for my submit button is much more tyrannical. But mine was just name and age, since we're going to be working towards databases. I figured that would be a good idea, just kind of get the basics down here. And I set some very unrealistic parameters, but this is more about demonstrating the assertions, of course. So just basic form here, name, age, both text entry boxes, and the submit button. The code just has similar functions as we did. The valid name, this just checks that the name is between 2 and 10 letters long. So if it's greater than 2, so I guess we could probably do 1, but I guess there might be somebody out there with a 2-letter name, Joe, J-O, but either way, just set those parameters. This function just checks to make sure that the length of the string given in the text box for the name is within those parameters. For this one, I wanted to check the value, so I had to parse the age text because it's given as a string in the form. So, and because I'm a spoiled Python developer as well, I'm used to being able to return more than one variable, and C# doesn't like that. But it does have this cool out keyword. So basically, this is saying, create the bool that, checks that this is an integer by trying to parse it. And then if it's successful, it actually takes the value and stores it in a variable called ageInt. And that is passed out of the function as well as the Boolean value of its validity. So that one was sort of a newer approach. I had to really chew through that out of the documentation. And we've just got the button click, grab the name and the age text, assert the return from this function. So is valid name. So it calls this function up here. And it's going to assert that this value that we're passing comes back with a Boolean value, right? So it's going to say yes or no. And if it's yes, nothing happens really. If it's no, you run this message right here. It's like another message box. Kind of comes up on its own. You can also send these to the console, I believe. There's a way to do that. And then here, because I can't directly check the function has a little more complication with having the out keyword involved. Here we save the Boolean value as just age valid, so making sure it's within the parameters we set, and call the function. And as long as age text passes the validity check, age valid then gets set for whatever this method returns, right? So if it's successful, if this is true, then we also get this right here. We get age. So if I could write this on another line, it would be like age equals, whatever the value that comes out of that text is, or out of that function. So it'd be the age int up here on the is valid age. But it all happens right there in the argument section of the function call. And then I just check that with the assertion. So instead of the assertion calling a function, it's just the assertion is just getting passed a direct Boolean value and has the message for it. But since these only run in debug mode, I still included some basic logic to check for valid inputs. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Probably can't remember if when I remember, sometimes you have to run these things from here, because if you just run it from the code, it'll be finicky. Yeah, for age, we could, let's try Joe. Joe is going to be 33. Submit. Boom, and right here, the assertion nicely just pops this up right here and lets us see it. This program's still running. It still has a running program over here. I don't know why it doesn't want to show it to me. Give me it. Stop fighting me. Fun. Whatever. But yeah, the message box comes up. It says it. I don't know why it just did that to me. We can try it again here. You know, if I do just do Alex, I can't remember the parameters. Let's say Alex is 33. Name and age accepted. So there's a little message box. This is the normal message box that comes through. But if it's, you know, P, you know, or better yet, it is Alex, but it's, you know, I'm 150 years old. So it shows me right here. This is the call stack. Oh, here they are. Assertion short message. And then it's got, of course, all the fun things that, of course, people read this, right? It shows us all this because we'll read it. But, yeah, it's, the assertions basically give you console access to errors during development. That's kind of what I had to learn about it, because it's not the same as telling the user, like, hey, you know, your input was invalid. It's not that. It's more like during testing and debugging, you want to make sure that if something falls outside of those parameters, you're basically saying, okay, I want to see this message. I want this message to be for the developer. And so it does that. This is like this assertions right here is kind of like this, but only for the developer. This is for the user as well as the developer, really, because it tells them like name and age accepted or name or age invalid, but we don't really get to this one. But you can choose to ignore these errors and whatnot. But yeah, that's it.